When we first considered how best to start this audiobook, it seemed like a simple summary of Operation Mincemeat itself might be a good bit of context to introduce the whole tale. That was our first mistake. There is no simple version of Operation Mincemeat. It is the perfect example of the phrase, "truth is stranger than fiction." When writing group Spit Lip started to preview the musical they were developing about this operation, they were frequently told to cut various details because no one would believe them, even when these details were true. It's understandable. Nothing about the 1943 plan seems sensible. Find a corpse, dress him up like a British pilot, and drop him in the sea off the coast of Huelva, Spain. Plant fake documents in his briefcase that discuss a fictitious plot to invade Sardinia, rather than Sicily as was actually planned, and hope those documents get intercepted by German spies active in Spain. And, to top it all off, equip the corpse with the usual objects a man might have with him, in an attempt to sell the ruse. Cigarettes, an ID card, a photograph of a lover, receipts, ticket stubs, and letters, all carefully devised to illustrate a believable life. It was a baffling plan. Even more strangely, it actually worked. The German spies in Huelva intercepted the documents and passed them up the chain of command until they were in the hands of Adolf Hitler himself. After the war, British intelligence services would recover confirmation that the information was believed to be real. The Germans began to focus more attention on Sardinia. The invasion of Sicily was a success, and the Allies ultimately won the war. And, over 70 years later, a group of 4 writer-performers wrote a musical about it. At first glance, it might seem like an odd concept for a musical, but this is an art form that brought us Starlight Express and Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Les Miserables is based on a 655,000-word novel with sizable tangents about the French sewer system, and it's the longest-running musical in the world. Sometimes, the stranger the source material, the better the show. So perhaps this odd little war story was perfect. Operation Mincemeat the musical has never had the budget of the mega-musicals of Les Miserables era, though, and the cheapest way to put on a show is to pay the fewest number of people. Spit Lip's Operation Mincemeat has a cast of 5. They multi-role throughout the show, all playing as many characters as necessary, but they each have one main role. There's Ewan Montague, a self-proclaimed genius naval intelligence agent with cloying charisma. Charles Chumley, who dreams up the operation with quiet brilliance. Johnny Bevan, the colonel who has the misfortune to be in charge of the team. Jean Leslie, a young typing girl keen to make something of herself. And Hester Leggatt, a matronly, long-suffering secretary who comes across as efficient but uptight in equal measure. All the characters are based on real people involved in the operation, sharing their names and their roles and, where possible, their characteristics. Things are overplayed for comic effect, of course, but they are rooted in reality. For Hester, however, the gaps that needed to be filled with fictionalized content were wider than with the others. The seminal book on Operation Mincemeat is Ben Macintyre's Operation Mincemeat, the true spy story that changed the course of World War II.